Good morning and good afternoon to you all. Thank you so much for taking the time to join us today for our Theatre for One press conference. My name is Karishma Bhagani and I am the creative producer for Theatre for One Nairobi Edition. It is my honor to be your host for our session today. Our program will consist of a series of addresses to give you some context about the nature of our collaboration and the project as a whole. We will start off by sharing a video with you from Wainaina and Sheba Hirst, founding directors of Rainmaker Limited and the Nairobi Musical Theatre Initiative.
Hi, my name is Wainaina. I'm a singer and a songwriter, a film scorer, a musical theatre composer and book writer, husband of this wonderful human being, and the producing artistic director of the Nairobi Musical Theatre Initiative.
And hi, I'm Sheba Hirst. I'm a producer and I run the Rainmaker Limited, which is a production company here in Nairobi that I co-founded with Eric. We're very excited as Rainmaker to be part of this wonderful initiative, Theatre for One, in partnership with the NBO Musical Theatre Initiative, which we founded, with Octopus Theatre and with the NYU Abu Dhabi. We're excited about all the possibilities that this project presents.
I think the pandemic did interesting things for creativity, forcing us to sequester ourselves and finish works that we hadn't yet finished. It gave us this opportunity to really hunker down, and we're glad to be able to, that some of the writers that we've been working with are going to present some of their material here at Theatre for One.
Yeah, I think it was a really important time for also cross-border collaborations, of which this is a really interesting example. It's really an opportunity for us as Kenyans. We know that we've been great all this time, but it's a great chance for us to share it with the rest of the world. And what an interesting format to do it in. I'm excited about the ideas that Theatre for One presents for all of us, for reminding us of the specificity of work that is made for you as an audience member, that there's always going to be something there that is bespoke and made for you. It's just a question of seeking it out. And from the producing and creating point of view, that there is a home for your work. It might be that to remember to look at your work as work that you're making for a single and individual person. And from that, the idea that there is always an audience that may be available for your work, even if it doesn't flow with the massive tide of works that we're experiencing at that time.
You know, also, I think we've played in front of large audiences before, but I think playing in front of an individual, is a particularly intimidating thing and a particularly wonderful experience. And the artists who, from our end, who are going to be presenting here at Theatre for One, it's a challenge that they've accepted, and I take my hat off to them.
Thank you so very much, and I hope you enjoy this.
A special thank you to our on-ground stage manager, Henry Wamai, for shooting this video. I would now like to introduce Christine Jones, Artistic Director and Creator of Theatre for One, to say a few words.
Hi, my name is Christine Jones, and I'm the Creator and Artistic Director of Theatre for One. Theatre for One began as a project almost 20 years ago, and it started as an exploration and an experiment to see what would happen when we distill the relationship between the actor and the audience member to a one-on-one interaction. And what we discovered is that this relationship, it equalizes the role of the actor and the audience member, so much so that we've come to call our audience members audiencers, because what they are doing is actively present in the same way that the performer's work is actively present. And it's this mutual interdependence on each other that creates a fertile and heightened environment within which to witness and to experience works of theater. Since then, we've been collaborating with arts organizations and universities to bring our work into different communities. And we collaborate with local artists or local students to generate new work. For each residency, we commission writers to write specifically for this one-on-one interaction. And during the pandemic, we were invited by Arts Brookfield to create an online version of the work we've been doing, which is something that we've always resisted. But during this time, it felt like as a global community, we decided that these experiences through the internet were live. And this made it more appealing to us to experiment in this form. We wanted to make sure that the relationship continued to be one-on-one, that it continued to be live, and that it continued to be within a bespoke space. And working with Open-Ended Group, we made our own platform, and we commissioned 8 BIPOC writers to write pieces that responded to the moment. That residency was entitled Here We Are, because it felt like in these months, and especially in the beginning of the pandemic, we all found ourselves saying, well, here we are. What will we do with this moment and with these circumstances? And we are incredibly excited to be working with NYU Abu Dhabi and Karishma and the organizations in Nairobi to bring this work to you now. For this residency, we have entitled the program, We Are Here. And this came about from conversations that I had with Karishma about the writers and what their interests were. And we found that these were writers who are interested in ancestry, in women's rights and women's presence within the theater community. And they are saying, here we are, and this is what we have to offer. So we are so grateful to be collaborating with these artists, and we look forward to coming to your computer screens. Our computer screens have become our prosceniums, and the glass has become the fourth wall that we are reaching through to you.
I'm thrilled to join you all today to launch the Nairobi edition of Theater for One, We Are Here. I want to give a brief history of how we all ended up here together. When COVID-19 hit, the Arts Center, like all performing arts centers, had to reimagine its purpose. It's all too easy to succumb to the grief that comes with knowing how much we lost. We made a decision that rather than focus on the constraints resulting from the global pandemic, we would focus on the opportunities to rethink our work and reinvent how we keep the performing arts at the center of our collective experience, both at NYU Abu Dhabi and in the larger global community. We decided to focus on commissioning new work, both UAE-based artists who could help us share our local stories with the world, but also to invest in new forms of theater making, online, over the phone, with 3D immersive audio, and in other ways. Working with Christine Jones, Mara Isaacs, and Octopus Theatricals, one of the projects that we presented was Theater for One's Here We Are, which featured female playwrights of color in the United States who created work that was addressing some of the urgent conversations happening there last summer around issues of racial justice, around the presidential election, and around issues of memory and loss. The experience in Theater for One was extremely powerful. It captured a thrilling sense of liveness in one of the most concentrated and focused audience experiences you can imagine. Like many people in our field, one of the things we were in danger of losing was the ability to expand our networks and meet new people. So we started attending lots of online conferences, and exactly 1 year ago yesterday, in fact, I attended the Pan-African Cultural Exchange Conference, PACE, and I want to give a shout out to Nike Jonah and Erwin Moss for inviting me, who are joining us here today. In one of the opening sessions, I ended up meeting Karishma Bhagani and thought, her work seems really interesting, we should plan a call. We got together on Zoom, and I started hearing about her work with the Nairobi Musical Theater Initiative, and in Uganda with Tebere, and about her studies at NYU's Tisch School of the Arts. We realized we were in the middle of many intersecting circles, faculty and scholars who have split their time between Abu Dhabi and New York, like Bob Vorlicki and Catherine Correa, the Sundance East Africa Lab, and cultural leaders like Eric Wainaina. It became clear that we should develop some projects together. Karishma presented a broad spectrum of projects to us, some of which were in production and touring, others in development, and we discussed what would make the most sense to bring to Abu Dhabi to begin to build our collaboration. And of course, COVID continued to be an obstacle in bringing theater artists from East Africa to the UAE. But we remained stubbornly optimistic and came up with what we think was an even more inventive solution, one that would allow us to work with a broad cross-section of theater artists and at the same time help bring them to audiences not only in the UAE, but around the world. So we are delighted to announce the return of Theater for One to the Arts Center. This unique digital platform gives us a way to cross borders and deepen the Arts Center's ties with the Kenyan theater community, building on the UAE's strong links with East Africa. We're also happy to engage more deeply with the UAE's Kenyan expat community, who were so enthusiastic and supportive when we hosted Just a Band in our very first pilot season. And I want to take a moment to acknowledge the presence here today of Mr. Eugene Makoka, the first counselor representing the Kenyan ambassador to the UAE. Working with the Nairobi Musical Theatre Initiative and Rainmaker Limited, together with Octopus Theatricals, has proven to be a fruitful collaboration that expands the cross-border dimensions of the Art Center's work further than ever. Rather than looking at the obstacles that performing arts are currently facing, this project is a great example of creative ingenuity and using technology to advance the work of the field globally. We're especially excited to have a transnational creative and production team all working together to share their unique knowledge and experience. I hope you can all join us at Theatre for One, We Are Here, the Nairobi Edition.
Good evening again, everybody, and thank you so much for taking the time to attend our press conference for Theatre for One. It is an honor to help bring the Nairobi edition of Theatre for One to life. Having been born and raised in Mombasa, Kenya myself, and as a graduate of New York University's Tisch School of the Arts, as Bill mentioned earlier, I've always had a keen interest in expanding performance opportunities and the art sector within East Africa. To be able to do this in conjunction with the Art Center at NYU Abu Dhabi and Octopus Theatricals is a dream opportunity that draws together these varied influences. Theatre for One elevates a vibrant chorus of voices that are deeply resonant nationally and internationally and creates deeply personal works that resonate in this shared moment. What is most exciting to me about this collaboration is that international audiences will have yet another opportunity to be privy to the excellent artistic work that takes place on a daily basis in our region. Without further ado, I would like to introduce the 6 playwright performers to you. I have had the honor of working with these brilliant women before, and they span a wide range of artistic practices coming from different backgrounds and levels of experience. A few things they have in common is that they are some of Kenya's most fierce, expressive, and leading artists with groundbreaking and inspiring stories to share. This iteration of Theatre for One features Sitawa Namwali, Alea Kasam, Laura Ekumbo, Mubi Kaigwa, Anne Mora, and Mercy Mutisia. We will also be working with Nyokafi Masharia and Esther Kamba, who will serve as associate directors on the project and will be mentored by Serda and Khulud Sawaf, who are resident directors for Theatre for One. Henry Wamai is our on-ground production stage manager, and he'll be collaborating with the production team in Abu Dhabi and in the US to make all of the magic happen. And we have Vikash Patni, who is our marketing associate for Kenya. This, my friends and colleagues, is Theatre for One. We Are Here, the Nairobi edition. The works that our artists have prepared for you question the liminal space between ancestry and civilization, the real and the surreal, the inner being in our external existence. If we were in person, we would have cut a ribbon officially and launched the event, but instead, we'd like to share a video trailer with you.
Hi, this knife represents a marriage in my story.
Hi, this is my prop. My character has been here a very, very long time.
Hello, this is Superfly, and he's part of the cast and my prop. You'll see more when you see us live.
Hello, this prop is important to my character because she loves music.
Hello, this is my prop. I'm a sharpshooter.
Hi, this is a prop, my prop, and it represents the weird transitions in life, the crazy transitions in life.
I would like to extend my gratitude to the artistic and producing team at the Nairobi Musical Theatre Initiative for their support with curating the artists for this iteration. We look forward to welcoming you all for the performances. Thank you all so much for attending our press conference today. This brings us to the end of our official launch event. For those of you that are press that have signed on, of course, there's a separate way for you, and you can email us and we'll be able to reserve tickets for you. But there's also the Eventbrite link that has been shared for you to reserve your passes for friends and family for the shows. So we hope to see you there. And again, thank you so much for attending our press conference. Have a wonderful rest of your day or a wonderful evening. Bye-bye.